Drive Who's connection to real-world history and events. Here's a more detailed expansion of the first paragraph of the podcast script. The TARDIS of Time, Doctor Who's connection to real-world history and events, is a fascinating topic that reveals the rich cultural and historical references woven into the fabric of Doctor Who. From the earliest episodes to the modern series, it's clear that the show's creators drew inspiration from actual events, figures, and cultural touchstones of the 20th and 21st centuries. Many fans are familiar with the show's nods to classic literature, Shakespearean theatre, and mythology, but the connections to real-world history are often just as intriguing. We'll be exploring some of the most striking examples of how Doctor Who engages with historical events and cultural milestones. For instance, the first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, famously encountered the Daleks, a cyborg species determined to exterminate all life, in the 1963 episode The Daleks. This is a direct reference to the Nazi regime's atrocities during World War II. The Daleks' uniforms and propaganda-filled broadcasts eerily echo the Nazi Party's goose-step marching, uniforms, and rallying cries. Meanwhile, the Doctor's time-traveling vehicle, the TARDIS, can be seen as a metaphor for the fragmented and complex nature of historical experience, disrupted by the unpredictability of time travel. One of the most well-known historical figures to make an appearance in Doctor Who is Queen Elizabeth I, played by Joanna Page in the 2007 episode Voyage of the Damned. On the surface, the episode appears to be a standalone story, but it also subtly explores the themes of Protestantism versus Catholicism, the Spanish Armada, and British pride, all of which were pivotal in shaping Elizabeth I's reign. By weaving these historical threads into a classic sci-fi narrative, the writers cleverly engage the audience with the complexities of the past. As we delve deeper into this podcast, we'll examine more of these delicious connections, expertly woven into the rich tapestry of Doctor. In the next episode, we'll explore Doctor Who's connections to World War I and II, including the On Waterloo episode, which plays out the notorious Battle of Waterloo in the 19th century, complete with Napoleon's troops and Lady Emma Hamilton's art, cleverly referencing the larger-than-life drama of European history. One of the most striking examples of this connection is the show's frequent use of historical eras and figures as the backdrop for its stories. From the pyramids of Giza in ancient Egypt to the trenches of World War I, Doctor Who has a knack for incorporating real-world locations and events into its narratives. The episode The Girl in the Fireplace 2006, for instance, takes place in the 18th century and features Madame de Pompadour, a famous French aristocrat, as a key character. But it's not just the time period itself that's significant. The episode also explores the complexities of power, ambition, and the lives of women during the Enlightenment. Similarly, the episode Victory of the Daleks 2010 is set during World War II and features the Doctor encountering Churchill's Britain. However, rather than simply using the war as a shallow backdrop, the episode delves into the nuances of British politics and society during that time. The Doctor is faced with the moral dilemma of creating a new army to fight the Daleks, but at the cost of human lives. This raises questions about the role of science in warfare and the value of human life, mirroring real-world debates about the ethics of war and technology. This attention to historical detail is no accident. The show's creators have consistently sought to ground their stories in real-world concepts and events. By doing so, they're able to draw parallels between the fantastical world of Doctor Who and our own. For example, the show's portrayal of time travel consequences, such as the paradoxes and loops, is inspired by the mathematical theories of paradoxes developed by real-world scientists like Albert Einstein and Kurt Gödel. This interplay between science fiction and science fact has allowed Doctor Who to comment on and reflect the world we live in, making its exploration of science, history, and philosophy all the more thought-provoking.